In a lush green meadow, where the sun shone brightly and the flowers danced gently in the breeze, lived a boastful hare named Harold. Known throughout the forest for his incredible speed, Harold prided himself on being the fastest creature in the land. His confidence often bordered on arrogance, and he loved to flaunt his abilities to anyone who would listen. Among his audience was a gentle tortoise named Tina, who moved at a slow and steady pace, taking her time to enjoy the world around her. One sunny afternoon, as the animals gathered for their daily chatter, Harold could not contain his bravado any longer. He stood atop a small rock, his chest puffed out, and proclaimed, "I am the fastest animal in the entire forest. No one can beat me in a race." The other animals nodded in agreement, having witnessed Harold's astonishing speed time and again. Tina, who was quietly munching on some clover nearby, raised her head and said, "Harold, I may be slow, but I believe I could give you a run for your money." Laughter erupted among the crowd. How could a slow tortoise challenge the swift hare? Harold's laughter echoed the sentiment. "You? Beat me? That's a good one, Tina, but I accept your challenge. Let's race tomorrow, and I'll show you just how fast I really am." The announcement of the race spread like wildfire through the forest. Animals from all corners gathered to witness the spectacle. They set a course that stretched from the old oak tree to the shimmering pond, a distance that seemed insignificant to the speedy hare, but daunting for the slow tortoise. As the sun rose the next day, excitement filled the air. The animals gathered at the starting line, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. As the race began, Harold shot off like a bullet, leaving a cloud of dust in his wake. He dashed ahead, laughing to himself, thoroughly convinced that victory was in the bag. Meanwhile, Tina started her race at her usual pace, her legs moving slowly but surely. The crowd watched Harold sprint away while Tina plodded along, taking in the beauty of the meadow and the sounds of nature. She noticed the butterflies fluttering around her and the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. Each step was a reminder that she was part of something larger, a world that thrived in its own rhythm. As Harold reached the halfway point, he looked back and saw no sign of Tina. "This is too easy," he thought. "I could take a short nap and still win." With that, he found a cozy patch of grass beneath a shady tree and settled down, closing his eyes with a smug grin. "I'll just rest for a moment," he muttered, "and when I wake up, I'll have plenty of time to finish the race." Minutes turned into an hour, and the sun climbed higher in the sky. Meanwhile, Tina continued her steady trek. She didn't rush or falter. She simply moved forward, one deliberate step at a time. As she approached the spot where Harold had fallen asleep, she spotted him sprawled out, completely oblivious to the race still happening. A small smile crept across her face, but she didn't let it distract her. Instead, she focused on her goal, knowing that every step brought her closer to the finish line. The other animals, who had gathered to cheer for both competitors, began to murmur as they saw Tina making her way past the snoozing hare. "Look! The tortoise is gaining on him!" one exclaimed. The crowd erupted in cheers for Tina, their encouragement fueling her determination. She felt their support, and it pushed her to keep moving forward, step by step. Eventually, Harold stirred from his slumber. He stretched and yawned, glancing around to find the meadow quiet. Panic set in as he realized he had lost track of time. "What? No way! I can't let that tortoise win!" He leaped to his feet and dashed toward the finish line, his heart racing with urgency. However, as he sprinted, he spotted Tina just a short distance away, moving steadily toward the pond. Harold pushed himself harder, but his earlier arrogance had cost him precious time. As he neared the finish line, he could see Tina's shell moving closer and closer to victory. The crowd erupted in a mix of cheers and gasps, their eyes glued to the unfolding scene. With every ounce of strength, Harold surged forward. But it was too late. Tina crossed the finish line just moments before him, her slow and steady pace proving victorious. The forest erupted in celebration for Tina, who had shown everyone that persistence and determination could triumph over sheer speed. Harold, panting and defeated, came to a halt. He looked at Tina, who was basking in the joy of her unexpected win. "I can't believe it," he said, his voice a mix of disbelief and respect. "You actually beat me." Tina smiled warmly, her eyes sparkling with kindness. "It wasn't about being the fastest, Harold. It was about staying focused and not giving up. You may have speed, but I had patience and persistence on my side." The lesson hung in the air, resonating with all who had witnessed the race. Harold, humbled by his experience, reflected on his earlier arrogance. He realized that while speed could be impressive, it was the steady progress of the tortoise that had ultimately led to success. From that day forward, he vowed to be more mindful, to appreciate the journey rather than just the destination. The animals returned to their daily lives, but the story of the tortoise and the hare became a cherished tale, passed down through generations. It served as a reminder that in a world that often glorifies speed, it is the steadfast heart and unwavering spirit that truly leads to victory.